My name is Joe and this is my channel, and today I am going to do a product review for you. Love these product reviews, right? But this one is for the Saker mini chainsaw. This is a 4-inch chainsaw. It is a 20 volt and got this a couple days ago. Was able to unbox this and kind of look at all the pieces of that. Now when I did unbox it, things were neatly organized. You'll see an image of everything laid out on my workbench. Packaging, things were wrapped in plastic, bubble wrap, foam to make sure that they didn't get jostled around, and the product was pretty complete when I got it. It did come with a wrench for tightening the bar down. It did come with a screwdriver for tension. It came with a little tiny thing of bar oil. It does not come with a file for sharpening, so I'm not quite sure what the plan is there. I would say that that's probably the first down that I saw, because me being a guy that has to maintain my chainsaws, sharpening is something that you do quite often. So that was my first negative. Now I also know this is for pruning. This is not for sticking in the ground. This is not for cutting up logs along the ground. But how am I supposed to sharpen this chain? That was my first big negative. Safety is not set up for both hands, but I soon learned that yeah, you could actually work it with both hands fairly comfortable. So that kind of eliminated that issue there. So I thought, what better way to test this product out than to actually go out onto my property. The first tree that I came to, quite honestly, was one that during syrup season, I busted my head on this limb once really good, and then been very wary of it the rest of the time. So my first cut with this saw was cutting down that limb. Decided to take off it in chunks instead of a big sliver, and then I was able to take those pieces over to my little campfire ring and chop them up so that they fit inside that ring. And it did well. I made sure that I oiled prior to it. I would say that safety wise, this is very nimble and easy to hold. But when I'm pulling those pieces out and chopping them, I almost felt unsafe. My fear was that it was going to come into my leg, so I started bending way over. I wasn't really worried about the power of the kickback, but I had to become more aware of this small chain. That thing will slide right through your leg. It doesn't matter if you have chaps on. My understanding, electric and chaps don't behave the same. So that was my first thing. Then I started going out into some of my trees that I did tap and trees that I will tap in the future. And I always notice a lot of limbs around those small trees, small saplings. And so decided to go a little bit lower to the ground. I wasn't quite at ground level. I stayed up 2 or 3 inches. But what I noticed with that was leaves were getting pulled in, and that's no good. So stopped that. Then I looked around a little bit more. A couple of tree limbs that I always have to duck as I'm walking down the trails. And then the last couple of trees that you'll see when I do some brush hogging and tractor work, I'm always ducking underneath there. And you always think, hey, I'm going to come back, I'm going to trim that, I'm going to come back, I'm going to trim that. So what are my thoughts? My thoughts are, this is the wrong chainsaw for a guy like me. I think it's the right chainsaw for somebody that doesn't have a chainsaw. Now, if you have a big tree come down in your yard, you call a guy or you go to the hardware store and you rent a saw. For most of the world, they don't have a need to own a 2-stroke chainsaw. Me, yeah, I can justify it. However, I thought this is probably a really great tool just to take it out on a walk. It's not that heavy. If you're worried about safety, you know, the battery does come out. I'm not overly impressed with this, but at the same time, you could walk around, you could throw this in a backpack. I don't know how long that battery would last. You can buy more, but I think for someone that's just kind of outdoorsy, good tool. I'm thinking about, as I do little burn piles, might not be a bad tool to just cut up some of the smaller brush. But yeah, I will take some walks with this in the future, just to kind of, you know, if a tree limb's hitting me in the head, I can reach up. I could reach up near 8 feet. I could knock down those little bits of limbs, and I could carry this. Yeah, I could carry this for a good little while. Chainsaw is going to wear you out. Big gas powered chainsaw will wear you out. So the price point, this is a low investment. At the price point, I don't think that you would go wrong purchasing this tool, just because your investment is pretty low. They do sell a 6-inch one. That's going to be more costly. You can buy the packages with multiple batteries. That will be a more investment. But if you're just looking to be able to trim, you know you can do it. You just don't want to have the investment. You don't want to have to mix gas and oil. Not a bad move. Not a bad move at all. So that's my review. Sorry I did a review, but if a company is willing to send me a product and test it out, I'm going to mostly always do it as long as it fits into my world. So this is Joe. I would say that, yeah, I will approve this. I would say this is not perfect. Probably I'm a little too aggressive for this little thing, but I will put this in the toolbox. This will be around. This will get used, and if I had purchased this, I wouldn't have felt bad about it at all. I would have felt like I got my money out of it. So you guys take care. I think it's going to rain in a little bit, so I'm probably going to go in and do a little editing, a little footage, and yeah, you guys take care now. Bye.